Hello friends, it is I, Trevor from Media Mementos, or as I'm called here, TAS Productions. My old YouTube account has a WikiTubia page. Yeah, I didn't know about this for the longest time. I don't know when I first found it, but I do remember finding it sometime in college and looking at this going, huh, alright, sure, I mean, I only have, 2,000 subscribers, but alright, cool, thanks. Basically, a fan or a couple of fans got together to make this thing, and I'm really flattered, but some of the things in here are not entirely accurate. And also, take a look at this here. It's locked. I don't know why. But because of that, a lot of the information here is really outdated. But hey, why not have some fun and take a look? TAS Productions, that was the old TAS Productions profile picture from after I left the VeggieTales content stuff behind. That's one of the main, what am I saying, not main characters, it's one of the side characters in the Dave the Barbarian episode, what was it, Hoarders and Sorcery? Yeah, that's the one. He's the recruiter guy for the army sort of thing. I don't know why I picked him, honestly. I think he just kind of looked goofy and he had a wild face there. Plus, Dave the Barbarian's my favorite show, so why not, right? Says here, TAS Productions, that is correct. Style reviews, kind of. I mean, sort of. Date joined, September 9th, 2012. That is correct. Videos, wow. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but if it is, wow. Schedule, unscheduled, correct. Status, active, kind of, yeah. Nationality, American, correct. Location, Texas, United States, incorrect. I used to live in Texas for a little while. No, by the way, that's not where Morrilton High took place. I lived there in Texas, in between Morrilton High and now. Now I live in a different state from both of those, and no, I'm not going to tell you which one. So yeah, that's a little bit out of date. Anyways, TAS Productions is an American YouTuber that does entertainment and reviews for various forms of media. He's mostly well known for his TV talk segments, as well as for participating in his VeggieTales Abridged series. I didn't really participate in it so much as I wrote, directed, and acted in it, so, I mean, I guess I was kind of the main force behind it. Some episodes just had only me. However, due to complications with the fanbase for his VeggieTales Abridged series, as well as the fanbase at large, he has ceased making VeggieTales content and has primarily shifted his focus to a secondary channel, Media Mementos. Kind of true, the VeggieTales Abridged stuff is most certainly true. Fanbase at large, being the whole VeggieTales fan community and all that, not really. I mean, yeah, that was kind of a part of it, and I guess you could say that the Abridged fans were also part of the main series fandom as well. But that wasn't really the main thing. It was, generally speaking, because I was getting burnt out on making VeggieTales stuff, and I was getting kind of bored of the show. It's kind of like what happened with Pie Guy Rules and SpongeBob, where he just watched it so much that it just became kind of numb to him. Although, unlike Pie Guy Rules, I'm sure I could come back to the show again and again. In fact, I most certainly have. But for Pie Guy, yeah, I don't know. But this video's not about him, it's about moi. Meanwhile, the TAS Productions channel itself would be used as a channel for side content. That is correct. Scrolling down here. Oh, I forgot to check this stuff out. Channel trailer, that is right. Most viewed video. Moving on. First video! Yeah, I actually reviewed this on Media Mementos. It's called the TAS Productions Cringe Files Leo No Arms, and if you haven't seen it, then you're definitely like most of the other subscribers because it's one of my least viewed videos. Anyways, VeggieTales Abridged under current shows. When was this written? This seems to have been written around the time when VeggieTales content stopped, which was well after VTA ended, so... Anyways, TAS Productions' flagship series, revolving around the concept of taking the innocent, family-friendly series VeggieTales and turning it completely on its head. While it started off as a simple gag-based series, it eventually evolved into a more story-based series with recurring themes and more character development. Yep, that is true. I mean, yeah, it was always planned to go that way. It was kind of like, I always like to joke, Doki Doki Literature Club before that actually came out. And, you know, not anywhere near as good. Yeah, that is true. It did start off as a simple gag-based show and slowly got competent. Eventually, it took a long time to get there. For more information, watch the VeggieTales Abridged video we did on this channel. In recent times, TAS Productions has admitted that he was growing hostility towards the show, and largely regrets creating it. Kind of, yeah. It's not that I regretted creating it, it's that I regretted, the effect that it had. There were times, where I felt really down and went, I wish this thing never got made. But then whenever I would think that, I would realize, if it wasn't for this show, I wouldn't have met folks like Billy, or have gotten nearly as much experience as I had with writing, and honestly, I think making a show as bad as this was what helped me become as good of a writer as I am today. This is primarily due to the series being the only one that was able to pull in decent viewership, despite how he claims that the series is simple and easy to produce. I do remember saying this, but I believe I misspoke. See, it wasn't exactly simple and easy to produce. It was more simple and easy to write. Getting the things made, like editing and finding the right actors and actually voicing the thing, not really. I could do the Larry voice all day, but some of the others got a little grating. That's why Larry Boy stopped showing up, pretty quickly. I realized that the whole Trekkie monster thing was going to destroy my throat, and it did. And that's not really why I disliked it, it was because of the toxic fandom. That being the only show on the channel that got any viewership was a part of it, but it was more that the fans went out of their way to dislike anything that wasn't their beloved VTA. Not dislike as in push the dislike button, you get what I mean, right? Yeah, it was basically just the disrespect and anger. The viewership was a symptom of that, but not really the main force. All other shows that used to do well on the channel were completely ignored in favor of the show. That is true. For some reason, some of the bigger hits like TV Talks, or the one that I still hold in really high regard today, VeggieTales Live and Reloaded, all of a sudden started petering out when the show started becoming popular. And it's not as if you had to choose to watch one or the other, you could have just watched one then the other. I don't really know what happened, to be honest, but that's in the past, so why bother dwelling on it? Well, I guess the answer is because it's all written here. Anyways, never mind. Combined with the fanbase being openly hostile to any change in tone or structure, and impatience for future episode releases, has led TAS Productions to cut the series short and cease VeggieTales content upon the final episode's release, with the exception of releasing the remaining episodes of Gourd Games. Technically, yes, the burnout had more to do with that, but to be fair, the burnout was largely caused by this. That and also just overexposure in general. As great as something like VeggieTales is, you can only watch it so much before it gets tiring. And especially since the show went really downhill, they're not making any good stuff now. All you got are the classics. And yeah, they're classics for a reason, but you get what I'm trying to say. Mr. Crocker Plays, a series of Let's Plays performed as Mr. Crocker from the Fairly OddParents. Yep, and I had a second channel dedicated to it that lasted 2 videos because, well, I got really busy and then I never bothered to pick it back up again. I don't know. Maybe someday it'll come back. I'm definitely open to it, so, yeah, I usually don't take requests. But if you guys want to see it, let me know. Unnamed review series, in parentheses, Media Mementos. Yep, that definitely tells me that this was written way after VTA ended, so that little bit up there is a little confusing, but anyways. A higher produced, more critical version of TV Talks. We'll get to TV Talks later in this article, don't worry. This is said to be the series that he is most proud of. While beginning on the TAS Productions channel, they were quickly moved to a second channel due to VeggieTales Abridged taking all the viewership and stunting the series' growth. 100%. Gourd Games. A Let's Play series where TAS Productions and Alfonso Cortez, also known as the guy who made the Thomas and the Magic Railroad video on this channel, portray Jimmy and Jerry Gourd from VeggieTales. Each episode focuses on the Gourds playing a particularly notorious game. Every episode was recorded over the summer of 2018. Once the remaining episodes finish airing, it has been confirmed that there will not be any more produced, given that the series was considered a one-time thing, and TAS Productions' current distaste for VeggieTales content. Yeah, I remember making Gourd Games. It was all over the summer of 2018, like this says here. Basically, I spent the summer hanging out with Alfonso, and we were just like, hey man, let's come up with a project. Something kind of fun, goofy, where, you know, you don't have to put a lot of effort into, but it's mostly just kind of us having fun, and, you know, if people like it, they like it, fine, but really, it's just to have weird experiences and do silly things while also pushing our creativity. The end result was Gourd Games, and I'd say mostly it still holds up. There are a few episodes that could have used some editing, and there are some times where I try as Jimmy to be a little too out there. But for the most part, I'd say it holds up. Especially since it's really obvious that we're playing characters. Let's be real, I don't sound like this. I mean, I know my voice is a little unique, but come on, it doesn't sound like this. There were some times where Alfonso, or let's just call him by his real name, Kyle, where we would stay up till 1 or 2, or in the Webkin's case, I think it was 4 in the morning, getting absolutely delirious, and it was a lot of fun. Sadly, though, not every episode of Gourd Games would be released. I actually still have about 12 episodes still saved somewhere on my computer that have not been posted to the channel in any way, shape, or form. Part of it is because, yeah, it wasn't really very popular in terms of views, but the main reason was because, honestly, it just didn't really have a place on the channel from where it was going. The time when I stopped posting these episodes was right around the time where I decided to stop VeggieTales content, and I figured, you know what, I think people get the idea. So I'm just going to save some of these lesser good episodes and, I don't know, post them someday as kind of an April Fool's joke, kind of a, hey guys, remember this? It's coming back! Psych! Not really. I think I still have the gameplay footage. I hope I do. And if I do, then don't be surprised if this pops up on April 1st sometime. Not this year, but hey, you never know, right? Well, I do. Kind of. Former shows, VeggieTales Live and Reloaded. During VeggieTales' Dark Age/hiatus period, TAS Productions and Alfonso Cortez decided to create their own VeggieTales episodes in the style of radio plays. Yes we did. Beginning as 2 fan scripts that they shared for fun, the series quickly grew in popularity, convincing the 2 of them to pick up the series as a regular staple of the channel. Yep, that is true. And we tried to make it a once-a-month thing, too. What would happen is I would come home from high school and finish my homework like a good boy that I am, and then I would spend the evening typing away and making the new episode. And some of my most fond pieces of writing that I've ever made it into the show. Most specifically the series finale, You're At It Again, Johnny Black. That thing, man, I'm still really proud of it. The series was well received for the quality of the character impressions and similar writing style to the original series. However, towards the end of the series' run, TAS Productions noted that the episodes were starting to sharply decline in viewership and support, pinning the blame on VeggieTales Abridged taking it away. And while I can't exactly prove that with math, I can testify that once the fandom really started getting extra riled up, and the demand for episodes kept growing and growing, that's when the steep decline started to happen. So yeah, put 2 and 2 together and you can kind of figure it out. Due to this and the original VeggieTales series returning under its original management, TAS Productions and Alfonso agreed that VeggieTales Live and Reloaded had served its purpose and ended it with a reading of an unproduced episode based on the 2000 presidential election. I remember that one, Shush, Boar, and the Great Divide. It was gonna be kind of a turning point in the series, sort of. Though Johnny Black kind of did serve that. Basically, when we made You're At It Again, Johnny Black, we did not intend for that to be the end. That was actually going to be sort of a turning point in the show. Things were going to get a little bit more serious, talk about deeper, realer issues. And we didn't exactly talk about this, but we kind of sort of silently agreed that we were going to make it for a slightly older audience. Kind of like how the Toy Story producers said that they wanted the movies to grow with the people who grew up with the original. Something like that. Of course, we never got around to it because, well, we live in different states now, and we always used to record this in person together. And it kind of added some extra chemistry and helped us with improv, and I guess we could do it over Discord, but it's not the same. That, and as it says here, it served its purpose, but something else we didn't really discover until later, since we actually tried to bring the show back in 2021, When we sat down to write more episodes, we realized just how much we changed as people. We aren't the same people that made VeggieTales Abridged, VeggieTales Live and Reloaded, all those kinds of shows. We've grown and changed as people in our interests, our demeanors, our styles. If you wanted more episodes of the show, they wouldn't be the show that you knew and loved. And in the sake of not defiling the original's reputation like so many wonderful reboots do these days, we decided that enough was enough, and it was time to keep moving forward. TV Talks. Oh boy. A simple review series where TAS Productions would record his opinions on certain shows and networks. At first these videos would come out at random, but towards the middle of the show's run, it would come out with 1 and later 2 videos each Monday. The series disappeared in March 2019 with little to no fanfare, ultimately being replaced by Media Mementos. A little bit of clarity here. The reason, I don't know if I ever really talked about this, the reason that the series disappeared eventually is because, well, it sucked. And I was kind of tired of making it, and that was kind of what pushed me over the edge to go, I have been making so many different review shows over the years, and I am tired of these things being bad. Time to do something that I've always wanted to do. Have mid to higher produced videos, well scripted, and something that explains my points better than just going, While this show was gone, I was working on Media Mementos, and sure enough, that summer, it finally came out with Baby Blue's Brillianter Betrayal, which I may or may not redub sometime in the future. T on blank. Oh, no. TAS Productions' first review series recorded early in his YouTube career. As of summer 2019, each of these has been made private due to TAS Productions not looking back on the series fondly. That's an understatement. These are some of the worst things I ever made. 6/7th grade me had no business being behind the camera, and he thought that he could make it a little bit better in 8th and 9th grade, but no, he was wrong. There would be times later in, I think, junior year where the format would be reworked to being a lot less over the top, over dramatic, and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, no. How I would have made it. Did I make How I Would Have Made It videos on TAS Productions? TAS Productions discussing how he would have improved on bad shows or movies that he's discussed. Did I do that? Oh, okay, this just unlocked a memory. Yeah. Okay, I remember these now. Nowhere near as polished or, good as the How I Would Have Made It videos we used to do on this channel. So let's just skip those. Let's talk about a longer version of TV Talks that was not only TV shows. Happy and Fairfield, what? A mini-series revolving around the song Happy and Fairfield from the Good Sports Gang. It wasn't really a series, it was just more of a series of gag videos, other shows, personal vids, I guess it's kind of miscellaneous, and standard misadventures. I'm kind of insulted that this is just a footnote with no explanation. For those who don't know, the TAS Productions channel actually tried to make a Christian radio show for teens. We had 5 episodes of it, but then one of the actors dropped and we never really found a replacement. The series is on hiatus, and it's probably going to come back at some point next year, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to be talking more with Kyle and seeing what he feels like. But yeah, this is just kind of at the bottom here with nothing, and that doesn't really make me feel good. But anyways, this is the TAS Productions WikiTubia page. Some of the stuff was definitely accurate. I'd say a good 70%, but there are definitely some issues and misunderstandings here. Man, I sound like Chris Chan when I say that, don't I? Anyways, yeah, this is it. I know I cracked a couple jokes and pointed out a little bit of inconsistencies here and there, but whoever did make this, whichever one or many people you are, thank you. Again, I was really surprised when I found this because I was, and still kind of am, with this side channel here, a really small YouTuber with not that much of a returning base. Yeah, VeggieTales Abridged brought in tens of thousands, and Live and Reloaded brought about, 4,000 each video at first? But when it came to subscribers, it wasn't that much. this really made my day when I saw it. It gave me that feeling, even if I kinda knew it was undeserved, that I made it, you know? That people cared enough about me and what I do to make this. And boy, what a wild ride it was. So anyways, thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you guys next time, and I don't know what I'm gonna do next time, so just bear with me, I guess.